Hello, everyone. I was just getting the music set up because we got to play a little of that whimsical music. Welcome, everyone. Christine Harrington here with the Savvy Sales Lady, and we're going to talk about the top 4 books that transformed my sales strategies and helped me with coaching and has helped clients with their results as well. I always recommend these books, and I'm a big reader. But I do something a little different. I listen to the audiobook and I read at the same time. Yes, I am weird about that. And I do that because I retain the information better if I do that. So let's turn off the music and let's dive into tonight's podcast. I've got some allergies going on, so I want to warn you that I do have a little bit of a cough and a little nasally tonight. So bear with me. So we're going to talk about something that every serious seller, leader, and coach needs in their toolbox, and that's books. As you can see, I'm a reader. Not just any books, but books that actually punch you in the gut kind of books. Grab your attention, wake you up. And those are the kind of books I like to read. And what I'm going to be going through with you tonight are books that did just that to me. So if you're ready to stop reading all of the fluff reading and start deep diving into books that can actually create breakthroughs, you're in the right place. And stick around until the end because I've got a free sales book action guide that turns these brilliant books into tangible tools for your daily selling routine. But I have to tell you, the guide is not quite finished. So you will have to come back to the replay tomorrow and grab that guide. I had my son and his family stop by earlier before I came on this podcast, and it interrupted me finishing that part. So if you do come back, though, I'll have it ready, or there's another way you can get it, and I'll tell you at the end. So let's dive in. All right. Now, the first book that I have read over and over and over again, and it's this one. Start with No by Jim Camp. I have read this book. I've bookmarked it. I've done all kinds of things with this book. I love it. And his premise is start with no. Now, it sounds just the opposite of what we should say, right? But here's the twist. Jim Camp flips everything you thought you knew about persuasion. He teaches decision-based selling where you let the prospect feel safe saying no. That's where the real conversation begins. So the big idea in this book, the big idea is you're not there to win. you're there to guide without neediness. I cannot express to you enough about how neediness can actually kill your sale. Prospects can smell the neediness on you. I had a coaching client who couldn't close because she was afraid of hearing no. And after reading Jim Camp's book, and by the way, he is now deceased. I believe his son took over the business. But my coaching client, after reading this book, started applying one strategy, the no-oriented question. She not only booked more appointments, she stopped feeling like a desperate telemarketer. It was a powerful shift for her. Now, I want to read you a passage in this book. It's on page 45. In negotiation, yes is the worst word. It just betrays a fear of failure and a fear of losing this deal. And it primes you to please the other side, to rush ahead, to compromise early, and often to come to a deal, any deal. No is the best word. No is the best word. It's what you want to be prepared to say and to hear. No, it will liberate and protect you. Jim Camp. Yeah. Now, this is what I say. The moment you let go of needing the sale is the moment you become a powerful negotiator. Let me say that again. The moment you let go of needing the sale is the moment you become a powerful negotiator. And I really want to encourage you to read this book. It's packed with information that I know you'll find useful. All right, let's get to book number 2. This is another book I've read more than once. So I'm giving you my favorite books. And that's Relentless by Tim Grover. Are you familiar with Tim Grover? So let me tell you a little bit about him. And let me tell you, this one, you got to buckle up on this one. Relentless isn't a sales book. It's a mindset explosion. The best way I can put it. Tim Grover trained Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and some others. But the two biggest were Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. And when he talks about being unstoppable, boy, he means it. He also goes into the book the work ethic of Michael Jordan, his practice ethic. It'll just blow your mind. When you read it, you put the book down and you think, what have I been doing? Because of all of the good information in this book. So the big idea in Relentless is there's no off switch for greatness. You don't rise to the occasion. You fall to the level of preparation. Michael Jordan was a fanatic about practicing. What have I told you over and over and over again? You've got to practice, practice, practice. Professionals practice. So I recommend this to every sales pro who is stuck in burnout. It's not about doing more. It's more about doing what others won't. Being consistent. So when I first started building the Savvy Sales Lady brand, I read Relentless at 4 a.m. before cold calls. Why? Because Grover taught me to get obsessed with mastery, not praise, not followers, but mastery. Now, here's a passage from the book I want to read. All right, it's on page 5. Being relentless means demanding more of yourself than anyone else could ever demand of you. Knowing that every time you stop, you can still do more. You must do more. The minute your mind thinks done, your instincts say next. I love that. And what I always say is you can't sell like a pro if you recover like an amateur. Relentless selling requires relentless self-leadership. Don't look for your boss to fix things. Don't look for your coworkers to help you. It requires self-leadership. All right. My third book, and before we get to that, we're going to take a quick break, and I have a quick commercial to show you. Christine Harrington, the Savvy Sales Lady Live. If you like the Savvy Sales Lady Live, you're really going to like the Savvy Sales Lady newsletter. It's delivered in your inbox once a week. Why don't you go ahead and subscribe? The link is in the show notes below so you won't miss this upcoming newsletter. I give you one tip to focus on each week to implement immediately into your sales day. Why not sign up and learn just a little bit more? Yeah, why not sign up and learn a little bit more? If it's not your cup of tea, you can easily unsubscribe. It's very easy to unsubscribe. And just so you know, I don't bombard you with emails every day. I do a newsletter every weekend. It'll come out either Saturday or Sunday. And you might hear from me once during the week, but you will never hear from me every day. At the most, you'll get 2 emails. Mostly, you'll just get 1 email, and that's the newsletter. All right, let's get down to book number 3. And I bet this name sounds familiar to you too. And that's Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Chris Voss has a consulting firm called Black Swan, as you may know. And what I love about this book is it starts with no, and it teaches you how to stay out of needy mode. Then Chris Voss shows you how to own the room. He's a former FBI hostage negotiator, which is why I was so interested in this book. And he is turned into a sales whisperer. So the big idea in this book is tactical empathy turns objections into open doors. So one of my reps started using the mirroring technique from this book because I had recommended this book to him. And mirroring has been around for a long time. It's just repeating the last 2 or 3 words the prospect says in a curious tone. And when he started doing this, he got good results. He booked a meeting from a cold call numerous times by using mirroring. This book also rewires how you listen. And in sales, listening isn't passive. It's your most persuasive mood. I should say it's your most persuasive move. So let me read you a passage from Tactical Empathy. Hold on. Let me get it. I had the wrong page marked. All right. Technical empathy is understanding the feelings and mindset of another in the moment. Let me say that again. Tactical empathy is understanding the feelings and the mindset of another in the moment, and also hearing what is behind those feelings so you increase your influence in all the moments that follow. So Chris Voss goes on to say it brings our attention to both the emotional obstacles and the potential pathways to getting an agreement done. Never split the difference, Chris Voss. I say when you really listen, you gain leverage. Not over them, but over the outcome. So let's go on to one of my favorite books. I have recommended this book many, many times. It is not a sales book, but it's an important book. And that is Confidence by Thomas Chamorro Premusic. Thomas Chamorro Premusic. I have read this book so many times because people have it all wrong when it comes to confidence. You see, you can't fake confidence. This whole phrase of fake it till you make it, they'll see right through you. Confidence is for the sales pro who looks successful but feels like a fraud inside. But the big idea in this book is that real confidence is based on competence and self-awareness. Let me say that again. Real confidence is based on competence and self-awareness. Now, this is a game changer if you secretly struggle with imposter syndrome, especially in high-stake sales roles where you're expected to be on all the time. Now, in my coaching, I have seen top reps crumble under self-doubt. This book helps you understand where true confidence comes from and how to build it sustainably. I have said over and over and over again that if you build your competence, confidence will automatically happen. It's just automatic. Now, let me read you a passage from the book. The more confident you are, the more likely you are to fool yourself. That's right. The more confident you are, the more likely you are to fool yourself. And another thing I always say is real confidence doesn't shout. You have quiet confidence when you know your product, when you are 100% competent at selling. You have a quiet confidence about you. It shows up by being prepared. You do the work that nobody else does, and you let results do the talking. You don't need attaboys. All right. Let's wrap it up. These books, they're not just shelf decor sitting on my shelf. They're your sales armor because they've been my sales armor and I've read them over and over and over again. So when you read a book, let me tell you this. When you read a book, read it all the way through. Then go back and study the book. So just don't read it once and put it on your shelf or skim it and put it on your shelf. Read it all the way through or do what I do. So I get the audio book and the book and the hardcover book, and I listen to the audio book as I'm reading the book at the same time. It helps me retain. But then after you've read it once, go back and really study that book. I'm not one that believes that you should read one book a month. I don't believe that. I think you should read a book, study it, grab one lesson out of that book and use it in order to make a shift in what it is that you want to make a shift in. Okay. Now, in the Sales Book Action Guide, I pulled together some key takeaways and exercises from each one of the book. And I'm giving you a powerful printable resource to use in your next sales call or coaching session. My handouts are not pretty. They're meant to be functional. So that's what they are. But because my family came over, they didn't know I had a podcast tonight. I didn't get it all done. So I will get it done so you can download it and start using it. So let me suggest this. What you can do then is, let me do this. You can email me at Christine@ChristineHarrington.com and tell me you want the 4-book sales guide. And when it's finished, I'll email it to you. I'll do that. I'll email it to you. But be sure and grab it when it's available. I apologize it wasn't available today. I really do apologize about that. So the other thing I want you to remember is if you need to dive in and talk to me, just talk to me about a particular issue that you're having in sales, book a coaching power session. And I will put that in the description area as well. A coaching power session where you and I can talk through the particular problem that you're having. And I'd be happy to do that. I charge $47 for a coaching power session, which is a fraction of what I usually charge for a full client conversation, coaching call, I should say. So until next time, stay savvy, stay bold, and remember, the right book in the right moment can change your entire sales life. It sure can, because it has mine. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you Tuesday night. I appreciate all of you. And if you'll stick with me, I have one more thing to show you. Stay savvy. Imagine picking up the phone with total confidence and knowing what to say and how to say it. My Cold Call Masterclass has helped thousands of salespeople crush their goals and skyrocket their quotas. You'll walk away with my step-by-step method of how I closed 26 deals in 9 days with only 52 prospects. And I've not done that once. I've done that many times. Ready to master cold calling? Why wait? Enroll in the cold calling masterclass today, and you'll start closing deals tomorrow. Click the link below to join now. Let's make those calls count. I'll see you inside. Stay savvy.